This video is for lesson 3. We're doing the volume of cones and pyramids. For cones and pyramids, the difference about them is that they only have one base. So if they only have one base, you're going to name them a cone or a pyramid. And then the formula for volume is a little bit different. These right here are examples. This is a cone. A cone is a pyramid that has a circular base. So it's kind of hard to see on this picture, but the bottom is a circle. And then there's only one base, and then it comes up to a point. So that makes this a pyramid called a cone. And then this pyramid right here also only has one base. The base is, in this case, on the bottom. It's not always on the bottom, but it's the shape that there's only one of that shape. And then all the other sides in this shape are triangles. So the base of this shape is a rectangle, and that means this would be called a rectangular pyramid, because after having one base, all of the other sides come up to make a point. Instead of writing the formula on the top, I'm going to write the volume for a cone or pyramid right away. V stands for volume. And then this time we're going to start off the same way. We're going to find the area of the base. So depending on what kind of shape your base is, you have to use a different area formula. Then we multiply by the height, but we have to make sure it's the height of the pyramid or cone, right? A cone is a special kind of pyramid. And then here's the new thing. This is different from a prism. On this one, you have to take that answer that you got and you have to divide by the number 3. So anytime we have a pyramid or a cone, we are going to do the area of the base multiplied by the height of the pyramid, and then we're going to divide that answer by 3. There is a video on Schoology that shows you why it's divided by 3. You could also talk about it more with your teacher, but that is just part of the formula. At the end, we always have to divide by 3. Again, I would take these notes while you're watching the video. If you need to pause, feel free to do that. Also have your calculator next to you so that you can do the problems along with me. This shape right here is a pyramid. It has one base and then it goes up to a point. You could call this a circular pyramid, but the actual name for it is a cone. So I'm going to start off the same way. I'm going to start by drawing my base and then finding its area. In this problem, my base is a circle. I know that all the way across this base is 20 centimeters. So that line is called a diameter, and my diameter is 20 centimeters. But the area formula for this shape, a circle, is pi times the radius squared. And in this picture right this second, I don't have the radius. I know that a radius stops in the middle of a circle and doesn't go all the way across. So if all the way across is 20 centimeters, I know that my radius is actually 10 centimeters. Plugging that into my formula now, I have pi times 10 squared. And then you can type that into your calculator. I already did, and I got 314.159. That is the area of the circle, but that's not what this problem is about. This problem is about volume. So to find volume, that's capital V, I have to do the area of the base. I already found that number, times the height of the pyramid. So this one, this cone, has a height of 12 centimeters. And then because it's a pyramid or a cone, I have to divide by 3. It's just part of the formula. That's what we have to do. Volume equals, when I typed this into my calculator and divided by 3, I got 1,256.636, and I am measuring in centimeters cubed. The centimeters came from looking at my measurements. The cubed is because it's volume. Then I have another shape. This one also only has one base. It only has one shape that's a rectangle. All of the other ones are triangles. And then across from that rectangle, it comes up and it makes a point. So this part here is my base. And then it goes straight across from like the point. So that's how I know it's the base. If I'm finding volume, I start off with the base, and I start off by drawing a picture of it with measurements. So while one side of my rectangle has 8 kilometers, the other side has 7 kilometers. And then because this is a rectangle, the formula is base times height. I don't have to divide by 2 because it's not a triangle. Base is 8, height is 7. 8 times 7 gives me 56. So the area of that rectangle is 56, but I am looking for volume, so I have to go one more step. Volume is capital V. I have to do the area of the base, I just found it, times the height of the pyramid. Looking at my pyramid, I do want to make sure that my height is going straight from the middle and going straight up to the top. Sometimes you're going to see a height that goes this way, and that's not going to be how tall it is, because think about when you go to the doctor, right? We don't measure your height at a slant. We measure your height straight up and down. So the 7 is my height, but then because it's a pyramid, not a prism, I have to divide by 3. When I put that in my calculator, 56 times 7 divided by 3, I got 130.667. My units are kilometers, but then because it's volume, I have to do cubed. We already wrote down our formula. Area of base times height of pyramid divided by 3. Remember, we pick this formula if we have a cone or a pyramid. We choose the other formula if we have a prism or a cylinder. You have 2 practice problems to do, and then once you have those done, you can have your teacher sign off so that you can move on to the next section.